Hello children, how are you? I am Kameshwari, your social teacher, sitting here to next continue the next lesson in geography part. In the last class, I explained you our changing earth. In that, we discussed two types of forces. What are those two types of forces? Endogenic forces, exogenic forces. Endogenic forces I completed in the last video. Let us come to the exogenic forces. Children, what is exogenic forces? Are the forces that works the surface of the earth. Those are called the exogenic forces. What are the agents of those forces? How those forces changes our landforms? Let us discuss now. Now come to the lesson, major landforms. What are the landforms? Mountains, plains, plateaus. These three are changed by the exogenic forces. What are those forces? How the forces changes our landforms? Let us discuss. The landscape is being continuously worn by two processes. What are those two processes? Are weathering, erosion. Weathering is the breaking up of the rocks on the earth's surface. One big rock is breaks into little pieces, that is called weathering. Erosion is the weathering away of the landscape by different agents like water, wind and ice. Erosion means those little pieces of ices wearing away of the landscape by different agents. What are those agents? Who are the agents of erosion? Is water, wind and ice. Now let us discuss one by one. Work of a river. River. What is the meaning of river is? River is a large stream. It ending at an ocean. That is called a river. A large and often winding stream which drains a land mass carrying water down from higher areas to lower point, ending at an ocean. That is called a river. It born in some place. It connects ending at an ocean. That is called a river. If it connects with another river, that is called the tributary. Now have you understood children? What is the difference between river and tributary? River, it is a large stream born in somewhere and ending at an ocean. If it connects into another river, that is called the tributary. Okay, that is the meaning of river. Meanders. Meanders means as a river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends are known as meanders. Meanders. Meanders means nothing that twists and turnings of the river are called meanders. Next one, Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake is a cut-off lake formed due to cut-off of a meander loop. In the shape of the oxbow. That's why these lakes are called oxbow lakes. Floodplains. What are floodplains? Are when the river floods, it deposits layers of fine soil and sediments along its banks, which leads to the formation of floodplain. The rivers deposited their fine soil, sediments, soil, these are all things. These fine soil deposited in one area, those areas are called floodplains. Now see children, here I will show you the one picture. It is the picture of a river. It born in somewhere, it connects into bay or ocean or anything, so this is a river. If any another river connects into this river, that river is known as tributary. Okay, now this is a river. You see here some twists and turnings are there. These are called meanders. Here one oxbow lake is also there. What is the meaning of oxbow lake is it is cut-off lake of cut-off of the meander loop. Some days back, this river flows this area also. It cut off the lake, cut off of the river. Remaining half part, a small part is remains here in the oxbow shape. That lake is known as Oxbow Lake. The meanders over Oxbow Lake over floodplains. In the flood time, the river deposited their fine soil and sediments. This area is called floodplain. Come to next. Levees. The raised banks of a river are called levees. Raised banks of rivers are called levees. Next, come to the delta. What is the levees means? Here you see. This is the levees. These are the levees. Next, delta. What is the meaning of delta? Means a landform at the mouth of a river where it empties into a body of a water. When the river connects into the bay or ocean, it was divided into little streams. Though between those streams, triangular shape areas they left. The rivers deposited their fine soil and sediments in those areas. Those areas are called deltas. Delta, it is a Greek letter, Greek alphabetical letter. Here you observe so many deltas are there. Next, the work of sea waves. How the sea waves changed our landforms. Erosion and deposition of sea wave forms coastal landforms. The sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. You found some of the hills are found in the sea also. You are sitting on the rocks and taking some of the photos. Yes, those are called the sea rocks. These sea rocks always hit by the sea waves. Those sea waves, what happens some days later, cracks will come. Those cracks develop. In course of time, these cracks become wider and larger. Thus, shallow like caves are formed on the rocks. Those are all called sea caves, like a sea cave. How the entrance of the cave is there, like that, the sea waves cut the shape of that rock. Those structures are called sea waves. The cavities become bigger and bigger. Only the roof of the caves remain. The cavities become bigger and bigger. Roof of the caves remaining full, destroyed by the sea waves. These landforms are called, these leads to formation of sea arches. These all are appears to you in a arch shape. That's why these are all called sea arches. See children, here it is the exam sea cave. You see, this is like a water hit that full rock. Once upon a time it is a one big rock. The water hit. Some days later the rock appears to you like this in the cave shape. That's why it is called sea cave. After, only arches remained. The water flows this side to that side. Only roof is remains. This is called the sea arches. Next, after some days later, what happened? The roof is also divided into two parts. Only walls are appears to you. These walls are called stacks. Next, continuous erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These walls-like features are called stacks. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above the sea water is called sea cliff. It is a little bit smaller than the stacks. The sea waves deposit sediment along the shores. This lead to the formation of sea beaches. Already you know about the beaches. We are all going and playing in the beaches. Next, work of ice. How the ice ice force changed our landforms. Glaciers. Glaciers are river of ice. All the rivers born on the glaciers. Suppose you see our Ganga river, the longest river, our national river Ganga, born in Gangotri. Gangotri, that is one of the glacier. So, the glaciers are river of ice which to erode the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. Those are all moving in U shape to up to bottom. Why they are moving like that means it is the forcing by the force. Glaciers carve out deep shallows there, deep shallows. Sometimes deep shallows, some of the lakes are found in the deep shallows are created by the glaciers. In those deep shallows they filled with water. Those are all called the beautiful lakes. Lakes are formed like that in the top of mountains. The material carried by the glacier such as rocks, big and small, all the rocks, big rocks or small rocks, those material carried by the glacier, those are all rocks they deposited one areas. Those sand and silt gets deposited in those hollow areas. These deposits form glacier moraines. These deposits form in glacier moraines. I will show you some of the glaciers here. See children, this is the shape of glaciers. After that, how the wind changes our landforms. Yes. In the desert areas, what is the meaning of desert? The vast area covered with sand, that is called a desert. Which desert is located in our India? Yes, Thar Desert. What is the biggest desert in the world? Sahara Desert. Nice. Next, winds usually erode the lower section of the rocks more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrower base and wider top, which takes the shapes of a mushroom. How the mushroom is appears to you like that. The wind destroyed. Suppose one big rock is there in the desert area. The wind destroyed the lower section of the rocks, but at the top part is like that. Therefore, the top is too big and the bottom part is too small. That's why it appears to you like a mushroom. That's why these shapes of rocks are called mushroom rocks. These are available in desert areas. The depositions of sand in low hill-like structures are called sand dunes. Sand, which side the wind is flowing, that side the sand is also blowing and stagnated like a hill structure. Those sand hills in the desert areas are called sand dunes. Sand dunes, sand siphons. What is the meaning of siphons? Means dust storms are called siphons. Okay, dust siphons are occurs in only in desert areas. The wind carries very fine and light grains of sand to long distances and deposits in large areas. Such areas are called loess. Such areas are called loess. So this is about our wind erosion. Next, see here, this is the picture of sand dunes. This is the picture of sand dune. It is a mushroom rocks. It is appears in our desert areas. Children, have you understood this? Now, you read this lesson carefully 2 or 3 times in the textbook. Each and every point you underline and read, and you locate those are all places in our one map also. Thank you, children.